Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we have another transparency update. So with that, as always, I like to talk about my losses and gains for every single day in the stock market. Fortunately for today, we have no losses whatsoever. I sold off 2 shares of a free stock that I got recently just because I have Robinhood Gold. As you all know, Robinhood does offer like a $5 per month service where it provides some additional information about various stocks in the market, and it also gives you like whatever stars out of 5 that they think it's worth. So I do find this information valuable, and the reason that I buy Robinhood Gold is for these videos on my channel, so I can provide you all with more information that is already integrated into Robinhood. So I woke up this morning and it said minus $9.98 on my buying power. I had no idea why, because I was at like 1 cent for the buying power before August. So they recently charged $5 for Robinhood Gold. So I had no idea why it was $10 instead of minus 5. So I sold 2 free stocks, which were like $11 in total, and that took care of that. And then it said I had like plus $5 in the buying power. So that's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure why that happened, but that's the main reason I sold those 2 free stocks. I believe it was ticker symbol OPK. It was at a pretty high peak for the past few months anyways. So I figured it was time to sell that. But just jumping straight into the portfolio for today, as you all can see, totally dominating thanks to Tesla stock, Microsoft stock, and even Apple stock is on a tear as well. It's at like plus 2.48%. So as always, if you all do appreciate the transparency with these portfolio updates, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out, and it also helps with the YouTube algorithm. But as you can see from today, we started out in the pre-market at 9 a.m. at plus 2.24%, or plus exactly $2,397. And from that point on, we had a little bit of a downturn up until this 9:30 marker. So we had this low point at 9:25 at plus 1.78%, or plus $1,906.31. But then once we hit the normal market hours, even 5 minutes before that at 9:25, it started to skyrocket up a little bit. So we had this peak at 9:45, then we just had a little bit of that typical volatility you'll see out of the market, and it kept on going up slowly and slowly. So from this point, from 11:10 a.m. to pretty much the end of the day, we had what I would call a perfect stock market day. A perfect stock market day to me is when your portfolio starts out really high and just goes across the board like a straight line almost. And the main reason I really like those kinds of days is because you can sometimes even look at the market, let's say at 1 p.m. or even at like 12:30 p.m. or something, and if it's making that same trend across the day up until that time point, a lot of the times, at least for my portfolio and the stocks that I own with Tesla, Microsoft, and Apple, I have noticed there is a consistency. Like if it's acting like this halfway through the day, then it's most likely to continue on with that same pattern for the rest of the day until the after hours, or at least until that last hour of the market. So basically what I'm saying here is when you have a day like this, like let's say we're looking at this right now, and we don't know what's going to happen after this 1 p.m. marker. We're pretending like it's 1 p.m. right now and we're looking at the market and we can't see the rest of this. I'm just saying that with my experience with the stock market in the past, when you have a day like this where it's pretty consistent straight across up until that point in time that you're at, then it's kind of easy to guess when it's one of those straight across days that the time after that will include the same pattern. So I would consider this probably one of the best possible stock market days you could have. Now, obviously, there's the other stock market trend that I really love as well, where you start out at a point like this and then it slowly increases over time, and instead of going straight across and keeping it at that same value, it keeps on increasing. So it goes up and up and up and up and up. So let's say at one point you start out at 2%, goes up to 3% at this point, goes up to 4% here, and then it goes up to like 8-9% right here. So I guess I would call that the perfect stock market day, but I would consider this pretty comparable as well in terms of just a good day that you want to see out of the market. Because when you see it like this, like at least when you have a pattern like this, it's pretty easy to just expect the day to end in a similar fashion as it has been acting like throughout the whole day. But whereas when you have a big stock market day where it starts out at like plus 2% and then it goes up to like plus 3 and keeps on going up at like a slant upwards, there's always the risk in that last hour of the day from 3 to 4 p.m. with the stock market potentially dropping a little bit, or some of the stocks that you're interested in dropping. I've seen that with Tesla a lot frequently. And that is just because there's a lot of hype building throughout the day. And then in that last hour, there's a lot of investors that are starting to think, okay, is this a little bit too high? Am I buying at the peak right now? Should I be a little bit more careful? So as it gets to that part of the day with that last hour, there's a little bit more uncertainty when the stock market is surging for specific stocks such as Tesla or Apple or Microsoft. But like I said, I would consider a day like today one of the best possible days in the stock market, just because if you see a trend like this, you can sort of reliably predict that by the end of the day, it'll continue on that same trend, and you'll end the day at that average percentage that you've seen it hovering around all day. So I love a day like this, and I've made a lot of money today so far. So with the market hours just ending, I'd say it's like 4:01, 4:02 p.m. right now. So normal market hours have ended. So let's go ahead and check out what we earned for today just in the normal market hours, and then we'll check out after hours as well. So for today alone in the normal market hours, we are at plus 4.22%. which is plus $4,518.35. And then as we're just a few minutes into the after hours right now, we are at plus 0.02% or plus $23.75. So today has been a fantastic day. For one thing, on Mondays, especially with good news hovering around the stock market as well, you have a lot of people being optimistic for the rest of the week. I feel like Fridays are a little bit more risky in terms of maybe a red day or the stock market declining a little bit, just because there's a lot of uncertainty over the weekend. As we know, a lot of negative news or just news in general can be released in a matter of just 2 or 3 days over the weekend. So when you have a day like Monday, there's a lot of optimism towards the future, especially right now with talks of a $1,200 stimulus coming through sometime early in August. We've heard about that as well, and there's still the discussions going on and deals being made. So we don't know for sure whether that's going to happen this month, but so far it does seem at least a little bit likely. And if somebody's getting $1,200 in, pretty much everybody in America getting $1,200 in, then that's obviously going to stimulate not only the economy, but the stock market as well. And as we know, especially recently, the stock market is very different from the economy itself. Because if the stock market was representing the economy, then we would not have had this V-shaped recovery. It would have pretty much went like this and then lower and lower and lower and lower until we got a more positive outlook. So for one thing, I'm very glad that the stock market doesn't mirror the economy, because in my opinion at this point, one of the only ways you can really gain money, really know where to put your money right now to grow it other than the stock market, it seems like that's the reason it has been increasing so much lately. Because, for example, let's say you have like a money market account in your bank, and really the highest rates we've really seen for interest rates have been like 2%. And that's if you're really lucky and have a great bank that gives you really nice interest rates. But normally you'll see like a 0.5 to 1%, sometimes 1.5% interest. But I believe right now it's like 0% interest or very little. I know Robinhood gives you a tiny bit percent interest. So with the APY right now, it's not very good at all for the banks. So people have nowhere to grow their money significantly other than the stock market. So at this point, it's almost like the only way you can increase your net worth significantly by putting your savings in somewhere is by putting it in the stock market. It's like the only option that exists. So I think we're experiencing like a big transition right now with people transitioning to the stock market rather than just putting a lot of their money into savings. So that's what I do personally. I don't have any like emergency fund or anything like that. All of my money is put into the stock market unless I'm saving some money to pay off a credit card, which I'm also doing right now. That's why I haven't been able to buy a bunch of stocks lately. But I'm one of those people. Yes, I know it's a little bit more risky, but I do have a higher risk tolerance since I'm only 22 years old. I have a lot of time ahead of me, hopefully. And I'm one of those people that instead of having an emergency fund in their bank account, I would rather put my money that I would put in an emergency fund into stocks and just withdraw it or sell those stocks when I need it in case of an emergency. And yes, I know there's the potential of me selling at a downturn or me selling during a crash and missing out on a lot of money, but I'm willing to risk that because I feel like in the case of me needing money, that would be like a pretty unlikely event. So I think that to have like $30,000 put into my bank account and just only growing it like a 1% at most, and especially not right now, like a very low percentage or none at all, then I would just prefer to have that in the stock market and maybe growing me 10 to 50% in just 1 year. As you all have seen so far, I've managed to be able to grow my portfolio by over 50%. So there's a lot of potential when you do put your money in the stock market, and I think that this risk is worth it for me personally, according to my risk tolerance, for me to just put the money that I would have in an emergency fund into the stock market. So with all of that being said, we have to check out some of the gains for today that have led to this big increase just within the past year. So let's go ahead and check out Tesla stock, one of my big money makers for today. As you can see so far, we are currently at plus 3.79% or plus $54.22. We're just under $1,500 per share right now at $14.85. And for today's return only, like I said, plus 3.79%, which is equal to plus $1,866.37. And then for the total return we have for Tesla at plus 75.23% or plus $21,936.77. Keep in mind, all of these returns are just within 1 year. I started investing in early December. So let's go ahead and check out what else we have in the market that's making me money. The biggest grower for today wasn't actually Tesla. It was actually Microsoft stock. So with today's growth for Microsoft stock, we have plus 5.88% or plus $2,349.75. And then in total for Microsoft stock, we are at plus 26.70% or plus $8,923.53. So finally, we're getting that total return percentage up a little bit. It was at like 19% just a few days ago. So I'm glad to see Microsoft starting to get back near its fair value, because if we look right now, Microsoft's fair value is $228. It's one of the few undervalued stocks in the market right now, in my opinion. So this is one that I would love to buy if I had some money on the sidelines right now. And then finally, we have Apple stock, a great performer for today as well, at plus 2.34% or plus $418.32. And then for the total return, we are at plus 52.12% or plus $6,259.92. So we've seen a Tesla style move out of Apple stock within this past year, with me having a plus 52.12% gain. So I'm really satisfied with Apple. I'd love to pick up some more Apple as well, but it seems like it has just skyrocketed so much within the past week. It almost feels like it's too late to the train. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it, but we'll just see. I'll let you all know whenever I make a purchase. But as always, if you all did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash that like button. And also, feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link to those sites, then you'll get some free stocks. And also with Webull right now, they have a huge promotion. Depending on how much you deposit, you can actually get up to 60 free stocks with Webull. So that's huge, and that's nice passive income. Just wanted to let you all know, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there.